Hello, it's Tom Donald from the London Contemporary School of Piano. Today I'm going to show you the 4 best jazz chords ever. Okay, this is a walk through the Maiden Voyage by Herbie Hancock. It's amazing that this incredible landmark jazz piece only has 4 chords in it, but the 4 chords are, well, they're really, really great chords to play and explore and improvise with. And by the way, before we get started, if you are a fan of our work at the London Contemporary School of Piano, do be sure to head on over to our website, contemporaryschoolofpiano.com, to receive your free resources pack. You can just enter your email address and a link will be sent to you straight away. And in the resources pack, you'll find these chords, amongst all of the other materials that we have in the pack, constantly updating those materials. So, over to Maiden Voyage. Before we get started, let's talk about what these 4 chords are. They're just a bunch of minor 7 chords. A minor 7, C minor 7, B flat minor 7, A flat minor 7. Amazing chords, but just 4, that's it. So how does Herbie Hancock turn this into such an incredible piece of music? Well, the second thing he does is he adds a suspension in the bass. So we now have an A minor 7, and in the A minor 7, we're not going to play it like this. We're going to take the left hand up 4 notes, up a perfect 4th, to get this. And we get this very unresolved sound. And that's how we formulate the groove. So if I play the groove of the piece, I get a rhythm like this. It's good just to sit on that for a while. Let's just sit on that for a while and groove with it a bit. Now we do the same thing on the C minor chord, the C minor 7. I'm going to put an inversion on it. I'm going to start on the 7 with my thumb on the 7th. And again, the left hand, rather than playing a C, I'm going up another perfect 4th to the F. I get a C minor 7 with the F in the bass. So let's cycle between those 2 chords. I just can't get the grin off my face right now because I'm here sitting in Leipzig, Germany at the Blüthner factory, the Blüthner piano factory, and I am playing on a 9-foot piano. It's even slightly bigger than 9 foot. It is the Blüthner Model 1 piano. This is a massive concert hall piano. It's one of the largest concert hall pianos you can come across today. And these chords are just like, they're just knocking me out because of the instrument I'm on as well. So if I look like I'm enjoying myself too much, it probably means that I am. So please bear with me. But it's just hearing the sound coming back is the real satisfaction here with these beautiful chords. And so Herbie Hancock follows the same pattern for the other chords here. So the 2 other chords in the piece, we've got the B flat minor 7. And again, we take the bass up a perfect 4th to the E flat. And the same thing for the A flat minor 7. What's a perfect 4th up from A flat? Have a think about it. It is a D flat. So we put the 2 together. And you'll notice in the groove, in the left hand, I've also got an octave and a fifth in my voicing. This just helps get that groove for the chord. It's just a little arrangement I've made to make this piece accessible to people to play, because great jazz, just like great classical music, is accessible. Music doesn't have to be up on an ivory tower. We've got 4 beautiful chords here in this piece of music that we can all enjoy and play, and that's the privilege of making music together. So let's go through the structure of these 4 chords, because there's a specific structure to it, and then we're going to start improvising and having some real fun with it. But let's get that structure right first. So we've got the A minor 7 with the D in the bass. C minor 7. Back to the A minor 7. C minor 7. B flat minor 7. A flat minor 7. Back to the A minor 7. And that's the structure of the piece. Let's do it again. Wow, just 4 chords and so much colour and variation in the music. The A minor 7, C minor 7 with the passing B flat minor 7 and the passing A flat minor 7. It just works so well together with that structure of the A section being the A minor 7 to the C minor 7, and then that repeats again, and then you've got the B section, which is those passing flat chords, B flat minor 7, A flat minor 7, and always the bass being up that perfect 4th interval to create that suspension, turns it into a suspended effect to the chord. And now we can start having a little bit of fun with the music. We can play around a little bit with our chord inversions as well. Just start moving around those chords in different positions on the piano. And even if my improvisation is just arpeggios of those chords, all I'm doing is arpeggiating that A minor 7. So I can spend a bit of time just dancing around on that A minor 7. Let's play around with it. I'm just going to stay on that A minor 7 for a bit. Just dance around with it a bit. Then the C minor 7. Back to the A minor 7. Then to C minor 7. Then the B flat minor 7. Then the A flat minor 7. This is such a fun way to practice our arpeggios as well. So let me put that all together in the structure. That was a good exercise because I could just sit on the chord for a while and get a feel for it, and it's good to do that sort of practice. It has less structure, but you're just playing and dancing around with the chord. There's no system to learning this type of music. If you get overly systemized, you'll just get stuck. So it's really good just to play with it, explore it. I mean, that's why Herbie Hancock, every time he's recorded this piece, is always totally different. It's like a blank canvas, and that's take that freedom with you when you play around with these chords. See what you can squeeze out of them. We're here to get inspired, not get stuck in a sort of musical bureaucracy here. We don't want that. So, but speaking of musical bureaucracy, we'll have a little bit of it in the structure now. So I'm going to add the structure to it as I'm playing around with these arpeggios. Let's see what happens. So I can also go beyond arpeggios with these chords. They're minor 7 chords, and I can add scales on top of my minor 7 chords. The question is, what scales are compatible with a minor 7 chord? Well, there's a couple of scales which work really well. The first one that works really well is the pentatonic, the minor pentatonic, and all that is a minor 7 chord plus the 4th. And for my fingering, I can just use my 5 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 4th note's also being played in the bass. And the pentatonic scale fits it beautifully. But of course, I can play the pentatonic scale in other positions. I can use that to create some musical lines. I'll do the same thing on the C minor 7, add the 4th as well, and I've got a C minor pentatonic scale. So you can use your knowledge of minor 7 chords to find pentatonic minor scales. Pretty cool. Now this will take a bit of practice. You'll need to go to our website, get our free resources kit, get the sheet for this, and sit down and spend some time at your piano. There's no quick fixes here, but you can play along with me right now. But I'm going to then cycle through the structure, but I'm going to work more on the scale this time, that minor pentatonic. And if you get stuck, just spend a bit of time just on one scale. You know, if you're getting stuck on your B flat minor or whatever it is, just spend a bit of time just exploring the notes from that pentatonic minor. Just get it under your fingers. Spend some time just on those isolated chords. There's only 4 chords in the piece, so isolating them is a really good way to digest them in your practice. So you're not running a race against anyone. You're only working with yourself here. So just be patient and take that time. So another scale that works really well is a Dorian scale. So I get my minor 7, and all I do is I add a semitone or a half note below the 7th. It's quite a dreamy sound. I add the 4th as well. I could add the 2nd as well. And I get the Dorian mode. That's the A Dorian mode. There's my half note there, so I get my C Dorian mode. I get my B flat Dorian mode. And I get my A flat Dorian mode. Okay, so now I'm going to do some very dreamy Dorian improvisation. Maybe I'll go up into the upper register on this piano to do that. You can just have a bit of fun doing a bit of Dorian improvisation first. Okay, let's bring in the chords. Back to just chords again. Now I'm having a bit of fun with the bass, and I went back to the chord texture again. And that's the thing with these 4 chords. We can play it with different textures, those lovely Dorian textures at the top, or we can start playing around with the bass and having more chord textures in the right hand. So what I was doing with the bass here was I was playing around with the octave on the bass, getting right into the low part of the piano. I've got the 5th, but I've also got the 7th, the dominant 7th. To make some really cool bass lines. Da 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 dum, ba da 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 dum. I need to put the 4th in there. Just brush in a couple of extra notes. I can do the same on the F, which goes over the C minor 7. This really goes to the topic of groove, and we do have our groove mastery course, by the way. If you head on over to our website, and you can see the click here, our groove mastery program will help you learn some of these grooves on the piano if you need a bit of help. because groove is one of the most underrated things in modern piano playing. It's a great skill to work at, getting those rhythms and grooves. So if you feel you need some training on our groove mastery program for just a mere 25 US or 20 pounds, you can purchase that. And it's been one of our greatest hits, that program, the groove program. It's about 2-3 hours of just groove training alone. So anyway, get back to the groove. Let's do some groove with the Maiden Voyage chords now. I'm going to do a bit of everything now. I'm going to give you a little bit of a Maiden Voyage performance, seeing I'm sitting on such a beautiful piano. I'm going to play it in a variety of different styles, and I'll probably add a whole bunch of other things that we haven't spoken about today, but I hope I've given you a template, because at the end of the day, you're meant to play like yourself. You're meant to be you at the piano, and you need to just spend time sitting at the piano, working through these things, being yourself. If you want to have some coaching, you can visit our website, contemporaryschoolofpiano.com, because our team specialise in jazz piano, in popular piano, in classical piano, any genre, you name it. One-to-one coaching can really take you much, much further in your playing. But the bottom line is, you've got to be spending time with the piano, getting great feedback from great people who can help you, whether it's virtual lessons, remote lessons, whether it's in person. Really, the most key thing is having the right people around you to develop your playing. And that's exactly what it is we do at the school. I'm going to now play you out with a bit of Maiden Voyage. This is a one-take performance, and I'm going to put it out there because I'm here in the Leipzig, Germany, in the beautiful Blüthner factory here. This is a new Model 1 Blüthner piano that's just been built. And I'm sitting here, we've got microphones on it. It would be wrong for me not to properly record myself playing this. So whatever happens now, this is a one-take recording of Maiden Voyage. We're going to release it up on our Spotify channel, on my own Spotify channel or Apple Music channel under Tom Donald. It's going to be released as my one-take Maiden Voyage. So wish me luck. I hope I get a good rendering of it, because I'm here on this amazing piano. I really should make a proper recording of it. So you've seen me behind the scenes working it out. This is how I practice it. Now it's time for the performance. Wish me luck. I've only got one take because we've got a ton of other videos we're recording right now. Let's go for it. The one take, Maiden Voyage. And you can also listen to the full definition recording on your favourite streaming platform. All right, let's go. 1, 2.